Imagine you're finally making it big. Your music is going viral. Your bank account is looking really, really healthy. And you're on top of the world with your best friends. And then suddenly, unexpectedly, two of them are dead. And the whole world thinks you did it. This is the true story of YNW Melly, his song Murder on My Mind, and how he is the prime suspect for the deaths of his two best friends. What do you think, right? Do you think he's innocent? Or is the song a confession? Because I'll give you a hint. His alibi is probably the worst alibi in history. Now, before we go into the case itself, and this is an ongoing case, let's talk about Melly's background. Because this kid's life was not exactly leave it to Beaver. Melly grew up in Gifford, Florida. This is Gifford, Florida, right? It's really, really small. It's like a small town, you know? Not a lot of opportunities, but a whole lot of chaos. He was raised by a single mom who had him when she was just 14 years old. That's right, just 14. And let's be honest, at 14, most of us were out here worrying about whether our side part was the one or what we wanted to do after school. His mom, she was raising a human, a whole human. And I'm pretty sure she was not mentally prepared for that role. Just because of her age. Just because she's probably still figuring out who she is. This right here is YNW Melly's home. And despite the struggles, Melly found music early on, and that became his escape. And by the time he was in his late teens, he was already gaining a major following. His biggest song, you guessed it, Murder on My Mind. Now, quick side note, when this song blew up, people were like, wow, this is deep, this is emotional, this is art. And then when the case came out, everyone was like, hold on. Is this a confession? This is not art. This is a confession. I mean, listen, right? Rappers talk about all kind of things in their music. If lyrics were real for everybody, that means a whole lot of rappers have at least 14 Bugattis. Few have a pet tiger and unlimited access to women who just love them for their personality, right? Now the thing is, right, when Melly got arrested, prosecutors were like, actually, we think these lyrics are pretty literal, right? So because of that, they arrested him. That night, right, when everything went left was October 26, 2018. I know, such a long time ago, and we are still ongoing in this case. It was a regular night, according to Melly's crew. And let me know what you think a regular night entails, because this was not a regular night. 2 people died. But it may have started as a regular night. Anthony Williams, YNW Sack Chaser, and Christopher Thomas Jr., YNW Juvie, were both shot inside a car. Their friend Cortland Henry, YNW Bortland, drove them to the hospital, saying they had been caught in the crossfire of a random drive-by. Now this is where things start getting suspicious. From the beginning, the hospital staff immediately noticed something was off. The way the unfortunate injuries, the fatal injuries, were positioned, it did not match up with a drive-by at all. and you will not believe what it does match up with. Instead of coming from outside the car, forensic experts later found that the shots came from inside the vehicle. Listen, right? I'm no detective, but if you tell me you got caught in a drive-by and then science comes in and is like, actually, I can confirm that it's impossible, I'm going to start asking questions. So at first the police were like, damn, another tragic street incident. But then the pieces weren't adding up. The investigators were like, hold on, let's take another look at this. They got forensic experts to analyze the crime scene, and that's when they realized the shots came from inside the car. That's when they realized the way the glass shattered and the bullet trajectories, they did not match a drive-by claim. Security footage even placed Melly with the group that night, even though he claimed that he wasn't there when things went down. Remember, guys, he has an alibi. At this point, investigators started looking at Melly and at Bortlen very closely. The only other two people that know exactly what happened, the only other two people in the car. And when they pulled Melly's phone records, oh my gosh. Now, if you thought this was already messy, just wait, because then the prosecutors pulled up the text message that, according to them, showed conflict with William's mother and sister, that Melly might have been trying to cover his tracks. With text messages like, get me a Glock ASAP, like, go now, I don't want no illegal gun. He even said Glock 40 or 19. Even having a text message saying, I did that, smiley face. They also claimed that after the incident, Melly and Bortlen staged the car to make it look like a drive-by. And listen, we've seen some bad crime cover-ups before, but this one, it's giving group project where nobody did their part correctly, right? Fast forward to February 2019, and Melly and Bortlen were both charged, finally. And let me tell you, this case has been dragged out forever, because 2019 to 2025, guys, that's 6 years. Now, the first trial, ironically, did not even start until June 2023, just 2 years ago. And when it did, the prosecution came in hot, seeking the extra long time out. But then, after weeks of testimonies, the juries was like, we actually don't know how we feel about this. And boom, mistrial. Because the only witness the defense called, a friend and would-be alibi who claims he was with Melly at his house the morning of the murders, even though surveillance footage shows him getting into the car, shows Melly getting into the car with the other 3 people that were confirmed in the car. So as of right now, Melly is still behind bars, waiting for a new trial scheduled for September 2025. We have 2 seasons to go before we hit that. And the prosecution is still pushing for the extra long time out. And the defense is arguing that the evidence is all circumstantial. Meanwhile, the internet is divided. Some people are 100% sure Melly did it, while others believe there is not enough proof. And this raises the question, like, if he's guilty, what was his motive? If he's innocent, then who really did it? And most importantly, why do so many rappers get caught up in these situations? This is not the first time we've seen something like this. This case, guys, is unfolding. And honestly, I don't know how this retrial is going to go because I feel like they pretty much showed everything that they have already. But what I do know is that this is one of the wildest cases we have ever covered. And it's a reminder that real life does not care if you're famous, if you're rich, or you're talented. If you make bad choices, they will come back to haunt you. So what do you think? Is the evidence solid? Or is Melly being unfairly targeted? Let me know your thoughts. And remember, stay safe, stay smart, and if you ever feel the need to send a suspicious text, just don't. Bye, guys.